got another contradiction between what the Most High says in the Tanakh or Old Testament and what Jesus says in the New Testament. On the subject of swearing oaths, the Most High says, "You shall not swear by my name falsely, and so profane the name of your God, for I am the Lord." Leviticus 19 and 12. So basically, the Most High is saying, don't lie on my name. If you're going to say something, if you're going to say something and put my name in it, you better follow through with it. Numbers 30 and 2. If a man vows a vow to the Lord or swears an oath to bind himself by pledge, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. Basically, do what you say you're going to do. Deuteronomy 6 and 13. You shall fear the Lord your God and serve him, and shall swear by his name. God is commanding us to take oaths in his name, to swear by his name. He just straight up tells us, like, this is what you shall do. I want you to do this. Deuteronomy 10 and 20. You shall fear the Lord your God. You shall serve him, and to him you shall hold fast and take oaths in his name. You shall hold fast and take oaths in his name. Pretty self-explanatory. He's telling us to take oaths in his name. Deuteronomy 23, 21 verses, 23 verses 21 through 23. And when you make a vow to the Lord your God, you shall not delay to pay it, for the Lord your God will surely require it of you, and it will be a sin to you. But if you abstain from vowing, it shall not be a sin to you. That which is gone from thy lips you shall keep and perform, for you voluntarily vowed to the Lord your God what you've promised with your mouth. So God is saying, whatever you put my name on, you better see it through to the end. If you don't put my name on it, it's not going to be considered a sin. But if you put my name in the mix, then it will be a sin if you don't follow through. And then in Jeremiah 5 and 7, God the Most High says, how shall I pardon you for this? Your children have forsaken me and sworn by those that are not gods. When I have fed them to the full, then they committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in the harlots' houses. So the Most High sounds like he's pretty upset that people have forgotten him and they're swearing by other things. God said to swear by his name, swear on him, and people are going around swearing on other things. Swearing in the name of other things. But here in the New Testament, Jesus says, again, this is Matthew 5, verses 33 through 37. He's addressing multitudes of people on the mountain. He says, again, you have heard it said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but you shall perform your oath to the Lord. But I say unto you, that word but means in opposition to, in contrast to, to stand against. Don't regard what I just said with as much as what I'm about to tell you. And if the Most High and Jesus are the same person, why would he contradict himself with the but? But I say unto you, you shall not swear at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. Nor shall ye swear by your head, because you cannot make one hair white or black. But let your yes be yes, and your no be no. For whatever more than these is from the evil one. Alright, so right here Jesus is saying, don't swear by anything. Don't take any oath by anything, not even God's name. To swear by God's name is of the evil one. To swear by anything is of the evil one, and he included the Most High in that. Also, it's kind of interesting that he only mentions the hair being white or black. He doesn't mention brunette, blonde, or anything else. In Matthew 23, 20 and 22, Jesus says, "Woe to you, blind guides, who say, 'Whoever swears by the temple, it is nothing, but whoever swears by the gold of the temple, he is obligated to perform it.' Fools and blind! For which is greater, the gold of the temple, the gold or the temple that sanctifies the gold? And whosoever swears by the altar, it is nothing, but whosoever swears by the gift that is on it, he is obligated to perform it. Fools and blind! For which is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctifies the gift? Therefore, he who swears by the altar swears by it and by everything on it. He who swears by the temple swears by it and by the one who dwells in it. He who swears by heaven swears by God's throne and by the one who sits on it." That's Matthew, it's Matthew 23, I said 20 through 22. That's actually 16 through 22 that I read. But basically, Jesus is addressing the Pharisees and the religious leaders at the time, and he's calling them out, saying that, hey, you're saying that you have to make your oaths. He's accusing them of making oaths by the gift or by the gold, not so much by the temple or by the altar. He's saying what you should be doing, is have this understanding that he who swears by the altar swears by it and everything on it. It's all the same thing. And it sounds to me like he's telling the person or the Pharisees and stuff that that's the way that it should be done. To swear by the temple, and when you're doing that, you're swearing by the one who dwells in it. Though he doesn't really make mention that there are temples built to false gods, and there are things that dwell in those things, right? So he's just saying the temple, well, we have to make the assumption that it is the temple that the Most High dwells in. But with that assumption, he who dwells by heaven swears by God's throne and by the one who sits on it. So that's what Jesus is saying. Even though he just told us about, 18 chapters prior, not to swear by anything. So all of this right here is kind of needless if we're not supposed to be swearing by anything at all. But he's now given us instructions on how to swear by things. That's adding confusion needlessly. And then in James 5, verses 12, he's kind of echoing what Jesus said before. "But above all, brothers, do not swear either by heaven or by earth or by any other oath, but let your yes be yes and your no be no, so that you may not fall under condemnation." If my yes is supposed to be yes and my no is supposed to be no, then how can I fulfill the Most High's commands when he tells me to swear by his name, if Jesus is telling me not to swear by anything, and that actually swearing by the Most High's name is of the evil one? That makes no sense at all. And it seems like God's contradiction that I see is God commanded the oaths be made in his name and that those oaths be kept. Jesus forbids all swearing unless it's by the altar or the temple. The New Testament is subtly replacing God with items that are not God to be the things to swear by. And that's what I got. And those contradictions are enough. If I'm wrong about any of them, I'll be more than happy to admit my fault and study more. But if I'm right about even one of these, That's something to consider.